Every morning in London, millions of people are going to work. They're all in a hurry, trying not to be late. They know that bosses get impatient if employees aren't on time.
Yes? Is that Nibs?
No, Mr. Boomer, this is Albert.
What are you doing in Mr. Nibs's office?
Nothing, Mr. Boomer.
Well, find some work to do. There's plenty to do in your own office.
Can I do anything for you, Mr. Boomer?
No. I want Nibs.
But Mr. Nibs hasn't come in yet.
Tell him to see me as soon as he does come in.
Yes, Mr. Boomer. Nibs is late.
He's never been late before, never. And he usually comes in before us.
Well, he hasn't today. And there's a lot of work to do. Look, who's going to do all that work?
I suppose you'll have to do it.
I can't do it. I've got my own work to do.
Then you'll have to do Mr. Nibs's work in the lunch hour.
I can't do it in the lunch hour today.
Why not?
I always do my football pools in the lunch hour.
You can do your football pools tomorrow.
No, I can't. It's Wednesday today. It'll be too late to do them tomorrow.
Well, you shouldn't fill in your football pools at work.
Well, Nibs does his pools in the office.
Mr. Nibs? Surely not.
Well, I've seen him do them every Wednesday at lunchtime. Your turn.
Nibs?
No, Mr. Boomer. It's me, Peggy.
Where's Mr. Nibs?
I don't know, Mr. Boomer. He still hasn't come in.
If Nibs isn't here soon, he'll get the sack.
You wouldn't like that, would you?
Why not?
Well, Mr. Nibs does a lot of your work for you.
Oh, he does help me from time to time, but...
I'm late, I'm afraid. I'm terribly sorry. I do apologize.
What happened to you, Mr. Nibs?
Eh? Oh, nothing. Nothing. I'm sorry to have come so late.
Well, you've got a lot of work to do.
Oh, yes, I see. Yes. Have you done that letter I gave you yesterday, Peggy?
Yes, I did it this morning. Shall I get it for you?
Yes, please. Well, Albert, I mustn't hold you up. Do get on with your work. And I'll get on with mine. Hey?
Is that you, Nibs?
Oh, yes, Mr. Boomer. I'm terribly sorry.
Is that report done yet? I asked for it yesterday.
I'm sorry, Mr. Boomer. It's not quite ready. I need to check it. I'm sorry.
Stop saying you're sorry. I want that report.
Yes, Mr. Boomer.
Well, do something about it.
Here's your letter, Mr. Nibs.
Thank you very much.
I haven't done it properly, have I?
You've done it very nicely, Peggy.
There's no need to be polite, Mr. Nibs.
Well, it does look nice. Really. Perhaps the spelling isn't very good.
I suppose you want me to do it again.
No. I'll correct it myself. As soon as I've checked this report.
Ah, Mr. Nibs, do tell me what we're going to do about the summer holidays. Here's the diary. Now, I want to go in May, and Mr. Boomer did say he wanted to go in June.
I think I'll take my holiday next week.
Next week? But it's the middle of winter. And last year you went on holiday in March. You do choose strange times to go on holiday.
Yes, I suppose so, Peggy. I'm sorry, but I must finish this report. And I've a letter here for Mr. Boomer. It's important.
Nib?
Yes, Mr. Boomer. You wanted to see me?
Of course.
I'm sorry. I do apologize.
That'll do, Nibs. That will do. I've had quite enough of your apologies. Quite enough.
Sorry.
There you go again. You're a good worker. You do a lot of excellent work, and I'm grateful. But you're always apologizing. You'll never be a success, Nibs. Never.
No.
Well, have you done that report yet?
It's not quite ready, Mr. Boomer. But I've done this letter.
Give it to me, then.
I'm sorry.
Look, you can't even hand over a letter without apologizing. You do want me to read it, I suppose?
Oh, yes, Mr. Boomer.
Well, then, hand it over.
I'm terribly sorry.
But this is addressed to me. From you, Nibs?
Yes. It's my resignation.
You mean you want to leave Boomer and Company?
Yes, Mr. Boomer. I'm terribly sorry, but I do want to leave.
Here are some uses of do.
What are you doing in Mr. Nibs's office?
Nothing, Mr. Boomer.
Well, find some work to do. There's plenty to do in your own office.
Look, who's going to do all that work?
I suppose you'll have to do it.
I can't do it. I've got my own work to do.
Then you'll have to do Mr. Nibs's work in the lunch hour.
I always do my football pools in the lunch hour.
You can do your football pools tomorrow.
It'll be too late to do them tomorrow.
Have you done that letter, Peggy?
Yes, I did it this morning. I haven't done it properly, have I?
You've done it very nicely.
Have you done that report yet?
It's not quite ready, but I've done this letter. I'm late. I'm terribly sorry. I do apologize. Do get on with your work, Albert, and I'll get on with mine. It's very nice.
There's no need to be polite, Mr. Nibs.
But it does look nice, really.
You do want me to read the letter, I suppose?
Oh, yes, Mr. Boomer.
This is Herbert Nibs at home. He isn't the boss here, either.
Haven't you finished your homework yet, Doreen?
No, Dad. Wish I had.
Well, wouldn't you like to do it in your room?
No, Dad. I always do it here.
I've never seen you do it here before.
Well, you've never come home in the middle of the afternoon before, have you?
Well, I wanted to tell your mother something.
Have you told her yet?
No. She was out when I got home. Have you finished with your cup?
Yes, Dad.
What are you doing here?
I'm just doing the washing up there.
You're not doing it very well, are you?
I've dropped a cup. I'm awfully sorry. I'll clear up the mess.
Oh, please get out of the way.
Yes.
I'll do that. You never did like these cups.
Oh, no, I do like them, really. I like them very much.
Then why have you broken so many of them?
I'm terribly sorry. It wasn't on purpose.
What are you doing here anyway? Why are you home early?
Ah, well, I'm glad you asked that. I left the office.
I hope you did some work before you left.
Well, no, actually, I haven't done any work today.
Well then, what have you done?
Well, I came home and I made a pot of tea.
Tea? You never drink tea?
No, I like tea. I'm very fond of it.
You always drink coffee at home.
Yeah, I drink coffee because you make coffee, dear, but I do like tea, too.
There's something wrong with you today. What's the matter?
I've told you, dear. I left the office early.
You did what?
I left the office early. I've always wanted to do that.
What about all your work?
I've done all the work I'm going to do. I left the office and I slammed the door.
Slammed the door? You? Doreen, do move those books.
Yes, Mum. Dad wants to tell you something.
There's somebody at the door, dear.
Doreen, do answer the door. And please take those books with you.
Yes, Mum.
Yes, that's right, dear. I'd like to talk to your mother on her own.
Now you can tell me. What have you done?
Oh, I'm terribly sorry, dear. I've left the firm. I've left Boomer and Company.
You've done what?
I'm not going back to the office. Never. Yeah, well, yeah, I'm sorry, dear, but I can't work there anymore.
You mean Mr. Boomer sacked you? Why would he do that? What did you do to him?
I didn't do anything to Boomer. I resigned. I told him I wanted to go.
You didn't resign. You couldn't.
Yeah, I'm afraid I did resign. Yeah,
Mind what you're doing. So now, you haven't got a job.
I can get another job. I could do something else. I'm a good worker. Mr. Boomer says so.
Maybe, but you're not going to work for Mr. Boomer anymore.
This is Mr. Small.
How do you do?
How do you do?
Mr. Small wants to see you, Dad.
Oh, how do you do?
How do you do? I represent Bertram's football pools.
We don't do the pools.
I do them.
Herbert, of course you don't. And you're not going to start doing them now.
Oh, I'm sorry, dear, but I do the pools every Wednesday at lunchtime.
Very wise of you, Mr. Nibbs. Yes, Mrs. Nibbs, it was clever of your husband. This week's dividend is £300,000.
Really?
And it's all yours.
£300,000? For me?
For you, Mr. Nibbs, and your family.
Oh.
What are you going to do with it?
Do? I am going to buy Boomer and Company. And then I'm going to sack Mr. Boomer. Sure. Hey.